Right. So welcome everyone to a very special event. And this will be my first uh, honorary black belt that I'm giving out in my career. I've been doing martial arts for 44 years, and I have a brand, and it's a leadership school in Manhattan called Harmony by Karate. I've had it for 30 years in Manhattan, Upper West Side. So, as I was saying before, being under a microscope, people saying, when people get belts, why would they get that belt? Or how did they achieve that belt? And I'm not so much into the physical prowess of martial arts. There's a lot of people getting black belts because they can fight, which is good. That has its purpose.
Right.
About the inner development. And, so when I first met Ron in person, I met Ron through Adam James. Thank you, Adam, for that wonderful introduction. I met him because I had aspirations of doing world records myself. And, you know, dealing with Guinness was one challenge. Ron I've lost track of his world records, at this point. And every time I talk to him, there's a new one. It's like, I think when he goes to sleep, he does one, and he wakes up, he's like, I did another one. So at this point, he can, levitate, and I believe him. But
I wish.
that being said, I decided to do a world record. I ended up doing a whole bunch of them
Yep.
for charity, and because he does a lot of stuff for charity, and I have my own charity, Harmony Power. It's a Harmony Power Foundation. I established the first mandated anti-bullying program in a major worldwide city in Elizabeth. So basically, kids are awarded, they're given awards for doing good for the world in mass volume. That's transforming a major city as we speak. So thanks to Ron, I got that support on doing these things and how to go about it in the process. And, and also, look, I believe in myself, but that's a work in progress, right? So we say, oh, I believe in myself. I'm confident. That's day-to-day progress. It's not like you got it. You're always striving to believe in you. And
Right.
a part of believing in myself is other people, right? So other mentors, other colleagues. And so Ron was he became a very dear friend and a colleague and all those things and a mentor because he had already done it. I had not done it. So that's why, I really have such a fondness for Ron and such a deep respect. So we met in New
Thank you.
York City in person. He had to do this world record at NBC Studios. And so we met and he came to my dojo, my studio, and then we went for breakfast and we're sitting there eating breakfast. And I said to Ron, I said, so, you've had I don't know, at the time, like 30 world records doing a lot of martial art type of things, right? And I'd say, so you're an amazing guy and you have all these martial art world records, but you don't have a black belt. He said, oh, no, that never happened. I'm like, what do you mean it didn't happen? I said, you're more that than most of these people out there, right? So people get black belts and they're out there and they're thugs and they're hurting people or they're just not nice people. I said, here's a guy that's doing things that most martial arts people in the world have never done. And he's a great guy and he's humble about it. He finishes one world record, he's on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It doesn't stop. So that's in a nutshell. At that point, I was like, man, if I could just pull out a black belt and give him one right now, because just to kind of get this done, we'll do it at breakfast and I'll be good.
Excuse,
Yeah.
excuse me, John. Alistair's trying to get into the Zoom, and he says he's getting a notice, says a waiting message from you. Could you let Alistair in?
To be honest with you, everybody's welcome in. I don't have any notice here that's telling me that.
He needs to
Okay.
put in the meeting code.
Yeah, just put in
1733.
yeah,
Say it
Yeah.
again.
17.
He needs
I'm sorry. One of
he
you
needs
speak.
to put in the meeting code.
Right.
1733. If you could.
1733.
That should work.
Yeah. So anyway, so fast forward, years go by and, we've had phone conversations and we give each other support. Actually, he showed up for my event with Leo Fong and Leo honored me with a special
That's right.
presentation for that relationship, which I
Yeah.
thank for Adam James again for that introduction. But that being said, when he started to talk to me about how he felt in his illness, and I seen the struggle, right, the battle. To me, that's in itself, I've had near-death experiences where, I thought I was gonna die and it didn't happen. So I know the struggle and the fight that goes on with that. It's the biggest fight of your life. And then he's telling me, yeah, I'm doing world records. I'm like, we're talking about yeah, I have to keep doing things and I have to, nothing stops. And I'm like, that just blew me away. So, I was thinking to myself, I had a conversation with my wife and she says, you ever do that before? I says, no. No, I never honorary. I have never given an honorary black belt. Look, schools do that, and they do it actually as a regular thing. Every year they might honor somebody, which is fine, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Just in the place that I'm in Manhattan, it's very sensitive. Everything I do is under a microscope. So with Ron, I said, you know what? Yeah, nobody in the world could say anything about him getting this type of presentation, getting this kind of belt, right? So before I do that, if each one of you could introduce yourself briefly, just say your name, your relationship, within 30 seconds or a minute, each of you, and what this, why this is so important you were here today. That would be helpful. And for Ron to hear that. And then I'll present this award and then we can share other thoughts. Okay, so we'll start with Troy, the top, right? in the
And
top.
try to keep it short if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's hard when
Okay.
you're telling stories about me, but try and keep it short.
Well, I'll keep it short and simple. I met Ron, I think in 96 or 97. We were at the Debbie Reynolds dance studio auditioning
Oh, that's
for
right.
Wow.
a
Debbie
Viking
Reynolds.
show that's
Oh
going
my God.
to Japan. And yeah, unbeknownst to me, he was my backup and I denied it. I didn't want to go
Yeah.
and leave LA and, people forget me. I was 26. No one knew who the hell I was anyway, but we've had a great relationship. I love the guy like my brother, and he deserves this like anybody, like nobody. I mean, this is his life, and he deserves his black belt for sure. So I'm very proud of you, man. Very proud of you.
Thanks, brother.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We'll go on to, I'm gonna get my glasses, hold on.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Sura, Mr. Sura.
Good. I got about 2 minutes. Shouldn't be too long. It's hard to keep it short with Ron.
Oh,
I
God.
met Ron in 1978, playing high school football. Both 14 years old, the Detroit area. And even then, back then, Ron stood out for his aggressive style of play. He gained a reputation. I was always hearing Sarchian this and Sarchian that. We hadn't gone to school together, so I didn't know who this guy was. But he was, of course, naturally rebellious. He was an instigator. He was always sticking it to the man. He was punk rock before punk rock, and he was kind of known for roughhousing, In 1983, in my living room, I had to break up a fight between him and a college wrestler, guy I wrestled with in college. That was just typical Ron. And then, of course, there's a Taco Bell incident, which will not be spoken of any further. But Ron here in the Detroit area, he was ahead of his time. He got a tattoo when he was 18 of a
16.
cougar and a spear. 16, inmates and Navy guys and bikers had tattoos back then. So then he played football at Northern Michigan University, and he moved out west, and we lost touch. He moved out west, but I heard these rumors, and I'd hear, well, Sarchian was a stuntman, and he was as wild as ever. He was jumping out of airplanes. He was getting murdered on General Hospital. He was credited on TJ Hooker as a muscled thug. And of course, all of that tracked for Ron, because that's kind of, he was a wild man here. But then fast forward 15 years later, and there's the internet and social media, and we reconnected. And from numerous interactions between us and our circle of friends, I came to see another side of Ron. And unlike many who'd grown up in the Detroit area here, Ron had developed a broader way of thinking, I think a deeper worldview. He was more philosophical, more thoughtful, and clear-sighted than many others that we've gone to school with. And yeah, he'd become world record Ron, but he'd become something more in the vein of a life coach from my end, and a pretty damn good one at that. I remember going through some challenge and telling him about it, and he told me that I should turn my fear into a positive motivator in my life. And that was very insightful and very moving and helpful. So now fast forward to a few weeks ago, I was able to catch up with Ron. I'd seen him at a world record event about a year or two ago, but he came here to the Detroit area, and he spoke of all the crazy things he had lived through, the skydiving, the close calls and such. And he also spoke of the challenges before him now. And he spoke with such power and authenticity. He spoke in that intense way that Ron had. You know, you feel kind of drawn in and drawn into his orbit. And after that lunch, I realized that's how Ron has lived his whole life. He's been focused on this journey of living, follow your dreams, move west, dare, do, and live life to the fullest. And Ron Sarchian is a guy who's always lived life balanced on a razor's edge. And I think he understood that intuitively, you know, from the get-go. And it's fascinating to me. I mean, he presses me to do my best. I'm thankful for that. I cherish our friendship, and I cherish the example he set. He's really very deserving of this honor today.
Thank you, Delmas.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
So we'll go on to Vince, please.
Is there anybody that has to go, like, you know, within the
What's
next 20,
everyone's time
40?
limit? I want to respect everybody's time as we do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Anybody have to go within the next, let's say, 20 minutes?
I might have to leave in about 15 minutes. I've got family over here.
Hey, Vince.
Hi, Ron. But I'm glad I have a minute. Do I have a minute to talk real quick?
Please, Vince, go ahead.
I'll be quick.
Give him
Ron and
2
I-
minutes.
Yeah, a couple minutes. Ron and I go back to 94, 95 era when I was doing a pilot in Seattle, where he was, and I hired him as a stunt guy. He was getting into stunts then. And
My first job, my
your
first real
first job, yeah. And we had a great time, and I connected with him. There was something about Ron I connected with. Came back down to LA, this was where I work, and he came down later on, and then we reconnected. And over the years, he's worked with me on many shows that I've done, that I've coordinated. Ron's a great guy. Never a dull moment with Ron. We've reconnected since, unfortunately, with this illness, but we've reconnected, and we see each other, talk to each other all the time now. We just did a world record ourselves together not too long ago. But I got to tell you something about Ron. Never a dull moment with Ron. And I wrote all this down because, I mean, every time I talk to Ron, something new comes up. Here's a guy that worked for Boeing, personal trainer, stuntman, actor, stand-up comic, UFC fight announcer, Santa Claus impersonator, met Jennifer Aniston in the elevator. That's a story he's got to tell you. Wrote a couple spec scripts, and the Guinness World Record thing. I mean, the guy, I've been in the business 51 years, and I've worked with a bunch of people in front and behind the camera. A lot of big people, a lot of small people. And Ron, I got to tell you, Ron sticks out. He sticks out. He's one of a kind. Never a dull moment, like Troy said, right? I believe it was Troy or you said. I'm sorry, your first name, Sensei, John. It's never a dull moment with John, and so with Ron. And it's been a pleasure knowing you, Ron, and I love you. And
Thanks,
you know, it was a pleasure and an honor to do that world record with you, number 50. But there you have it.
Same here, Vince. You know, I've always treasured your friendship and your being a mentor of mine. And so Vince was Vince is he doesn't like to say it, but Vince is a big shot Hollywood stunt coordinator. And you look Vince up and you'll see he's one of the top stunt coordinators in the business, and he has been for a long time. When Vince says something like that about you, it means something. So thanks, Vince. Appreciate it.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Yes. So you know what I can do? Is anybody else have to exit earlier than later? Just want to respect people's time. Because what I can do is I can do that presentation now, and then we can continue to share stories. Does that sound good? That way, if people have
Sure.
to go. All right. So yeah, I know you're gonna love this because I've been staring at this for a long time. I'm gonna show you the belt first. Right? The belt is really cool. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
does it get cooler than this?
Oh,
Wow.
For real.
That's great.
Is that a headband?
Hold on, but then if you speak Japanese,
oh,
That's
Oh,
that's the
wow.
black belt. Okay.
Nice.
I looked at it and I thought it, like, at first I thought they put my Harmony by Karate, right? And I looked at him and go, that's not Harmony by Karate, it's World Record Ron. I said, that's even more, right? But then this makes it authentic, right? So I'll read it out
Right.
loud.
Right. Okay.
This is a certificate of promotion. Ron Sarchian, AKA World Record Ron, has achieved honorary black belt in Shokai Karate Do of Japanese origin. My name and the date, this is the real deal right here.
Awesome.
So
Very nice.
I will
Awesome.
be,
Awesome.
yes. And I gotta tell you, it just feels great. It just feels like, because I love you, Ron. I love
I
you,
love you too, brother.
man. Inspiration is like,
Well, thank you so much for that. I know how much work goes into those. Actually, Vince just got his black belt a couple months ago, Vince.
wow,
June 10th. Yeah.
June, yeah, and he's been working at it for a while.
that's amazing.
And when I was younger, I actually was working on a Taekwondo black belt, but I never ended up finishing up because I was using it to enhance my football skills. And I graduated school before I was able to do that. So, but then I got into kickboxing, which is what I wanted to do anyway. I'd much rather, I didn't really care for doing all the katas and all that sort of stuff. And I know that's the art form, but I just wanted to punch people in the face. And, that was really my ultimate goal was to spar and to fight. And I always felt I got more out of that than I got out of anything else. So,
That's awesome.
Look, when you're younger, fighting's fun. I went through that too. I liked getting hit. Now I don't like it.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'll tell you something funny, Ron. I hired these guys of 20, 30 years experience about a year ago, and I had to
Right.
retrain them, right? So this guy's like 180 pounds and he throws a move and it's really fast and he's big, right? And he looks like, he's better than me. And I looked at him and I said, you're supposed to be better than me. What's the point of being here if you're not? And he just got quiet, because that's the truth of it, right?
Sure.
Look, you're young, you could do all these amazing things, and you're supposed to. You're the next generation. But at some point, the hat's off. But with you and I, Ron, I mean, it was just like constant, like I said, the inspiration, the words of encouragement, the positivity, the humbleness of your character for being such a thug. I love it.
Thanks, John. Well, I was talking to Vince about this not too long ago either. It's kind of like every profession has its kind of wild side and its more articulate intellectual side. Like if you're going to be a stuntman, you got to be a little crazy, but a little crazy, not a lot. Anybody can be crazy. Being crazy is easy, but to be able to be smart enough and figure out what you're doing as far as a gig, and and know that you're going to be able to wake up tomorrow and work again, that's a stuntman. A daredevil is somebody like Evel Knievel, who, when he hits that ramp, he doesn't know what's going to happen next.
Right.
And so, there's a big difference between all of those things. And, if you do them long enough, you realize that, and you realize that, no, it's really not all that fun being in the hospital. And I can vouch to that. But it's part of the gig also, so there's always a double-edged sword to anything like that. And, it's never just all about being crazy or being nutty or banging your head on the wall. Anybody can do that. Yeah. But can you be smart enough to get on the field and figure out what you need to do as a football player, or as a stuntman, or, as a fighter, or whatever? That's the most important thing. And it always will be, it always will be. All right. Who am I boring?
Listen, I can listen to you all day long. We get on the phone, we can get off the phone. We're going to go to Adam. Some words.
Sure.
Sure. Please.
Well, terrific. Well, congratulations, Ron, and well deserved. You're
Thanks,
amazing.
Adam.
Ron
you.
and I first met at Bodies in Motion, and we continue to work together at Gold's Gym. But we really got to know each other much closer when I started working at World Black Belt. And through my work with Bob and Gene
That's right.
LaBelle, I got to know Ron a lot better. And I just know that Bob and Gene had tremendous respect for you. Both
Oh,
those
thank you.
great martial artists would stand up and applaud this recognition of a black
Yeah.
belt to you.
Yeah.
You are the epitome of what a black belt is about.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. And, you know, those guys were mentors, you know, Gene LaBelle, especially. If you guys don't know who Gene LaBelle is, hey man, how's it going?
Good to see
Hey,
you.
I
Good
wanted
to
to
see
stop
ya.
in and congratulate you as well on your amazing achievement today.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
This is my son, Jason, and Jason knows Ron as well, as he was there when Ron broke yet another world record at the Toluca Lake Tennis and Fitness Club, hitting 100-mile-an-hour tennis balls flying at his face with his bare hands.
Tennis balls.
It's
Yes.
nice to see.
It's like, what's next with Ron, right? It's like, what,
Exactly.
and he does it, right? It's incredible. Yeah.
Well, we're working on a couple things right now, but nothing solid. But I'll let all you guys know what's going on, you know.
Listen, if we keep this
Once I
going,
figure
it's another world record just talking to you. The hours, we'll be around the clock. What do you think?
Have you checked if that's available?
No, it's not.
Possibly.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, let's go on to,
Friday.
Adam,
Who's next?
Adam, anything else you needed to say real quick?
That was really nice. I was glad that Jason was able to pop in as well. He was wanting to be here to let you know, Ron. So
Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate you saying that.
And I also told Ben that he couldn't be here today, but Ben also sends his regards. His boys all say congratulations, Ron.
Oh, yeah. Tell my, I stay in contact with him on Instagram every once in a while. Yeah, his sons are just tearing it up on the tennis court. It's
Absolutely.
amazing. It's
They're-
amazing. Yeah.
So Dave, please.
Greetings all. Alistair and Lisa, nice to see you guys join us too. It's
Dave,
fun to have you here.
Welcome in. Yes, please.
I'm pleased and proud to be associated with this group and honoring Ron. Ron and I go back many years now. I was in a bad car accident. I was playing amateur hockey and I was in a bad car accident and wandered into Premier Fitness to kind of put my life back together. And Ron was my trainer. And over the years, we've become friends. And I've enjoyed and participated in not all of his world records, but
pretty close.
many of them.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So I've been there for the trials and the tribulations, the ups
Right.
and the downs, and
Right.
and I can say that one of the things I say about Ron when I'm describing him to other friends of mine is that he's relentless. He's relentless in his preparation. He's relentless in his approach. He's always trying to figure out the better approach to manage this stuff. And I've seen that in his world record attempts. And it's a joy and it's a teaching moment. It's a revelation to me too, how to attack the goal.
Yeah.
I'm not at all familiar with any of his thuggishness. He was long past that by the time I met him.
I missed that one too. Yes.
That was back in the dullness.
Those were his attorneys speaking now. Those were youthful indiscretions. Please direct your
Yes.
attention to the matters of the day.
Yes.
Although I have to admit, I've heard many of the stories. I didn't know him
Yes.
back in those days.
Back in the day.
Yeah. But he's introduced me to a crew of great friends, many of you amongst them, and then intersected through his world record attempts. And I'm pleased and, as I said, proud to be associated with this effort. Ron's battling another challenge in addition to our world records, and his approach remains relentless. He's figuring out the best ways to manage this, and I applaud it, and I respect it, and I love him for it. Thanks for including me.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. I love you back, brother.
Thanks.
We have, if I can pronounce your name, it's the Muay Thai Academy. It's
Yeah, Sean.
Sean. Okay.
Do you know, you guys have met before, right?
I
I'm not sure.
don't think we have, but we're meeting.
No?
No, I mean, I'm noticing that gym. I've not seen that gym.
Okay,
Huh.
cool.
And I always
I
remember.
thought maybe you had been over there before.
No, I always remember a good Muay Thai fighter. I have a lot of respect for Muay Thai, but please.
Because it's in Chatsworth,
Mhm.
and I used to go to Vegas to watch Sean fight. He was a pro fighter for how many years, Sean?
Since 2002.
Yeah, 2002. So
Wow.
yeah, we used to go to Vegas and watch Sean kick some ass and party and have a good time in Vegas.
Yeah. I want to hear more of your thug stories.
You know,
Anyway, I've known Ron. How long has it been, Ron? Like 98,
Man.
maybe 2000. When did you start teaching about bodies in motion?
Right around then, right around 98,
Yeah,
99, I think, something like that. Yeah.
you might have been a fight announcer for one of my fights or one of the shows I
Oh,
went
that's
to.
right. Yeah.
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 And then we got to know each other maybe through the Jet Center or something. And then
Yeah.
you were doing kickboxing at the time, and you were in stunts. And then you asked me to what year was that for your world record kicking the bag? The
Kicking
first
it?
time. Yeah. You
Yeah.
wanted
24 hours.
24 hours. Yeah, I was a witness. Gene LaBelle was
No.
there, I think.
That
Pierre
was that wasn't kicking. That was
punching.
that was the
Kicking.
most full contact punches in 1 hour, which was
Yeah.
6 right around 6,000.
Was that
Yeah,
86?
No. It was
No,
nine,
not-
Well,
98.
2004 was my first.
2004. I got it back.
So
I brought my
either
son by to that one. Yeah.
It was 2005 or 2006, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
right
Cool.
around
So
there.
yeah, we've known each other before, but then you had asked me to come over to be a witness for your world records, and that's when I found out that you were
Right.
doing world records. And
Right.
as everybody said, you are relentless, and that's one of the best things that I've seen that I myself and I tell everybody to emulate.
Yeah.
You know, you've been a great friend, and just you're a really great person. And
Thank you, Sean.
it's an honor to know you. It's an honor to be here with you. It's an honor to continue doing things with you. So I'm always here for you, man.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
that is great.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much. Hey, Ryan, if you could move your screen down, because I just want to at least see your chin. Yeah, there you go.
Is
Yep,
that good?
that's perfect. Yeah, there we go. I want to see your handsomeness, please.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out here. Okay.
Yeah, right there's good. And I got the whole, that's
Got it.
excellent. Skip, please.
Skipper.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Skip Neville, and been involved with Ron in one way or another for a while. My hair was black when I met him. I think he's responsible for the
Wait a
metamorphosis.
minute. Black? I don't know about that.
Anyway, I joined Premier Fitness, and the first thing I found out was that my wife told me she was also training there. She said, "See that guy, Ron? Everybody's afraid of him." That should have been a tip-off to me that if I got involved with him, there were ramifications, and indeed there were. But I'm sure you've heard the story. I was there. I can attest to the truth. Ron was involved in a street fight in the middle of Ventura Boulevard on Sunday morning during the course of a bike ride I was on. And it was the very first time I ever heard someone say, "If you don't stop doing that," this is Ron, "if you don't stop doing that, I'm going to kill you." And I thought, this could actually happen. I could be here and he could kill
Well,
me.
I was trying to slow him down a little bit.
Ron, you slowed him down, believe me. Anyway, moving moving quickly forward, Ron saved my life, literally. We were
Hmm.
involved in a bike crash, not that day, but on another day. And he hit me, ran
A
over my
week
head.
later. It was
And
a week later.
as a result of the pain from that, I had to, I got a scan and a malignant tumor was revealed. I had it removed and I'm just fine. But ever since then, Ron says that I'm responsible. I have to take care of him for the rest of his life. However, the reverse of that is that there are some people who say, no, he has to take care of you for the rest of his life. Be that as it may, Ron, and I'll conclude here, there's a Chinese proverb, and I was checking this out just this morning, that
Yeah.
says, saving someone's life is akin to building a 7-story pagoda that will last for 1,000 years. So here's the deal, Ron. If you had had a moment to think about it and say, what should I do? Should I save Skip's life, or can I have a 7-story pagoda for 1,000 years? I want the answer, and I want it right now.
Pagoda.
Amico, you demand. You always have been. God
Pagoda,
bless you.
and I'll put you in the front window of the house, just in case I'm not home. You can scare people.
Thank you so much, Skip.
Sharon,
Hi.
thanks, Skip.
We're on to Jay. If I go across this way.
Jay,
Yeah.
Hey,
where's
so
Jay? Oh,
every now and can you see me?
there he is.
Every now and again, I'll get a text message from Ron. It says something like, "What do you know about baseballs?" or "What do you know about bananas or eggs or what and pencils,
All right.
chopsticks, you name it." And I'm like, "Oh my God, here we go again. What has this guy cooked up now?" And so, I have a great time being Ron's flunky on these things. Brings me in to throw balls or whatever, and we get them done. It's a lot of fun. And Ron, you're a connector because so everybody on this chat wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for you. You're the one that brings people together, so I think that's pretty cool, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, Jay is one of those guys. He's good at everything. Like if I say, "Hey Jay, what do you think about this?" He'll go, "Oh, no, this, and this." And so sometimes when I'm doing some of these records and I'm kind of out there by myself as far as tools and knowledge, and if I always know if Jay shows up that we'll figure it out. And that's pretty much like everybody else on the game, is that everybody has skills that are valuable.
Mhm.
And those are the people that I like to have on my team that I know that if I ask them to do something, they don't need to ask me 8,000 questions. They can just go do it and figure it out. And those are the type of people I like to be around. Is it's like, well, I asked you to be here so you could kind of figure it out for me.
That's great.
So I don't have to walk you through it. So, but everybody on this crew is like that. I'm very fortunate to have found a great group of people and a lot of great friends. And, it's turned out to be, none of these records are possible without these guys. And I mean, and that's seriously true. Like, I can look back at every record I've broken. It's like, man, I don't know if I'd have been able to break this record without Jay. I don't know if I'd have been able to break this record without Skip. It's true for almost every record. So that's really valuable to me too, because it gives me less things to worry about. When I wake up in the morning of a world record attempt, my head is just on fire. But it's also one of the things I really enjoy about doing records is I have to figure stuff out. You have to You have to really be a problem solver, which is another enjoyable thing about breaking world records is you have to figure stuff out on the fly, you know, and to me, that's a valuable skill set to be able to do that. You know, some people panic and some people step back and go, okay, let's figure this out. And most of the time we figured it out.
That's great.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so
thanks,
much.
Jay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah. Congrats, Ron.
Thank you.
Sharon, please.
Hello, everyone. I met Ron, I think in 2016 through my husband, Brad, who's that way. And
Where is Brad? Is he there?
yeah, he's right there.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing, Ron?
Good.
And Ron started training us 3 times a week, starting at 6 in the morning. And he changed my life. He'd already been working with Brad several years before this. They went through a lot of different changes together before that. And then the pandemic happened and everything kind of changed. But what you taught us and your words still permeate in my mind, and they have affected us. And, you know, minimum 3 times a week, we are doing what you taught us, and it's
good,
been
good.
life-changing.
That's great.
I've been fortunate enough to watch you, you know, karate chop watermelons and kick watermelons. And I participated, I think this year, in a couple of your world records.
Yeah.
And it's been an honor. I've met a couple of your friends. You have wonderful friends. People really
Thank you.
love you. I think back to all the crazy conversations we had in the gym, all those hours in the morning, you talking music, constant music, and all these crazy stories. And it's been a pleasure, and we love you, and everyone here loves you, and I'm really happy for you, and you deserve this, and everything
Thank
you've
you.
accomplished is amazing, and you're a good son, and
Thank you. Thank you.
you know, you're a good human, Ron, and we really love you.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
thank you for inviting me today.
Very
Of
sweet.
course. Of course. It means a lot to me.
And
It means
Brad,
a lot to us.
did you like to add to that, Brad?
Yeah, Sharon said it, but you know, she said everything from watermelons to rulers to kickboxing and
Balloons.
to balloons.
Balloons.
But it's been over 20 years, I think, that Ron and I have known each other, and through 2
Yep.
different times. The first time I actually lost 100 pounds with him.
Yeah.
But
That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
yeah, that cut out the lasagna. Anyway, so but Ron, you've been a lot to us, and it's been a meaningful relationship, and you're a friend, and we just I never thought we'd see the things we see with you. You know, it's you're an amazing person, and you do amazing things, and you have a spirit that doesn't stop. So, and I think it transmits to everyone else, which is
Thank you.
really nice.
Thank you.
And we all value that. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
And
Brad.
congratulations on the today as well.
Thanks. Yeah. 50 was a big one.
Yeah.
You're gonna try to
It's
get
definitely
50,
a big one.
hold on 1 second. You're gonna try to get 50 honorary black belts now? Is that gonna be the next thing for you?
Hey, actually, John, that's a really good idea.
Oh, listen, when I'm done after this, you'll be like, wait a second, I get one in each country. How many continents? We'll hit the continents first, and then I'll go to each country and see if somebody will buy into it. And I'm with you, man. All right, let's go on to Lisa, please.
You could get a world record for having the most black belts.
Hey, Lisa.
There you
Always
go.
thinking. Always thinking.
Congratulations, Ron. I just wanted to
Thank
add
you.
congratulations along with everyone else's.
Thank you.
And I know a few of you from being at Ron's world record attempts and even actually participating in one with him this spring. But I've only known Ron for Ron, how long has it been? A little more than 2 years.
It's
Yeah?
like a year and a half. Yeah.
It feels much longer. I'm just kidding.
It
But
does.
but I've been Ron's life coach, and it has been nothing short of a pleasure. From the very beginning, I felt a connection with you, Ron. I felt it's been so nice to hear your stories. And I think that Ron he's very insightful. He's very self-aware, where I think a lot of people come to a life coach and they really, they don't have that level of self-awareness. And through our time, we started working together, and then he was diagnosed with cancer. And just to see his resilience, his grit, his authenticity, he's always honest with himself and with other people, even when dealing with this particular challenge.
Yeah.
I feel like all the world records attempts, he and I have discussed this, have really prepared him to be able to go through what he's going through now, and given him the strength that he needs in order to do that. Also, one of you, I think it was John, said that he's kind of a natural life coach. And I would like just to say, absolutely, from a life coach, I've been telling him all along, hey, you're qualified. You can do this. He has the ability to look at any problem and parse it out. I think a lot of people want to accomplish things or have desires, or even they know how, but they don't chunk it down, or they just don't even start the process.
Right.
And you start things, but you follow through and you do it with aplomb. So, and it was so great and fun to do this world record. We broke a world record together with there were 12 of us, most balloons in the air from a team of 12 for 1 minute. It's like very specific, but we did it this spring, and I got to know some of you in the process, and that was a lot of fun. So Ron, thank you for being a part of my life, for giving me the opportunity to get to know you, your process, your heart, your mind, and your friends. And I look forward to continuing in this.
We have more world records to break. That's for sure. So, and some of you just got your first one. There's a handful.
Some of us have two.
Yes, some of you have two.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Wow.
You're catching up to me, man. I gotta get going. Gotta get going. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Appreciate it.
Good work.
I have a great group of friends, don't I?
Yes,
Very
you-
nice.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
So
Very lucky.
Alistair, is that how I
What's
pronounce
that?
Yeah,
Say
hi
that
there.
again. Alistair.
Yep, I'm here. I unmuted myself. So I am the owner, and my wife and I own McLeod Ale Brewing Company in Van Nuys, very close to Ron. And I've actually known Ron for a long time. He helped me with the carpentry aspects of my landscape company, which was great. It was super fun back in the 1990s, I suppose. So that was the old days, but then Ron resurfaced in my life with the proposal of doing a world record at the brewery. And it was smashing piñatas.
Oh yeah, we were there.
Yes.
He wanted to outdo what's his name, Carr, the football player.
David Carr from Raiders. Yeah.
And of course he whipped him. And we had a super fun time.
By 15 seconds.
Yeah. And yeah, we had a whole big crowd there to spectate and support him, and tons of kids came because they knew there would be candy on the ground. And that's how it started. That was the first one. And since then, Ron has I can't even keep count of how many he has broken at my brewery. Is it 10?
Well, we're waiting on this last one. If this last one goes through, like I'm almost positive it will, that'll be 10 at McLeod's. Yeah.
And then, I mean, and of course, he's been here a lot more times than that, because some of the very challenging ones weren't accomplished. Like breaking the beverage cans was an absolute pig of a the thing to do, and smashing with the elbow and the fist, beverage cans, with liquid. We did beer cans, we did some soda cans, but that was a tough one.
That was
And,
tough.
Yeah.
Those hurt. Yeah, those hurt.
And Ron's dedication to it, we built special tables and the layout and the strategizing and everything. But all in all, we smashed a lot of things here, mostly smashing things. I got one of my world records here, which was
That's right.
the group of 12 smashing records, vinyl record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we did that one here. So that was it was really fun to be part of that one. And Ron also helped me break one of my own, which was cornhole sacks. Well, no, no,
Say
not
that again.
Well, I beg your pardon. I think there's a little problem on the speaker here. What?
I think it's the accent.
Well,
That's called
hold-
cornholio.
I hold the record for the most cornhole bags stacked in 30 seconds at 28. Try that one at home, kids. And then I also, with the group of 12, hold the record for the most cornhole bags stacked in 30 seconds with a team of 12, which was 228.
Wow.
Wow.
So, it's been, I know that the records sound funny and sound like fun and all that, but when it comes right down to it, I always challenge anybody that if they want to try and break one of my records, I'm there to help them. So yeah, if anybody thinks they can break one of my records, I will help them as much as I possibly can. And I've made that offer to many, many, many people, and guess how many people have taken me up on that?
I'd like to try the 24-hour kickboxing thing. If I could do that.
Sure, Brad. We'll start working on that in the new year.
Yeah. All right. Just to finish up. Yeah. So Ron, I was also involved in the balloons in the air one. So that's my other one.
Oh,
So
that's right. Yeah.
Basically 3.
Yep.
Yep.
So you had 3.
One failed on a technicality, the paperwork technicality.
Yeah, the paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah. I really let Ron down. He helped me so much, and I was too lame to get my paperwork in before. Well, what was, I took so long that Ron went ahead and beat me before I got.
Alistair does not like to do paperwork. Not that any of us do, but I knew when we were done and he had not done his paperwork that it probably wasn't going to happen. And so, of course, a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, no paperwork. And I said, listen, Alistair, I'm going to give you 6 months. And if you can't break the record in 6 months, I'm going to break it. And so the weekend of 6 months, I broke it.
Yeah.
And, but he's still got 2. He's got nothing to hang his head about.
Yeah, I didn't take it personally. But all the record breaking at McLeod has been very inspirational to my patrons who have come and spectated and seen it happen. And really the main thing about it is that for kids and young people who are trying to find their way in life and trying to decide what to do, and having the courage to set goals to achieve something great. I mean, this has been incredibly, time and time again, Ron has proved that you just need to set in a goal. It can be an ambitious goal. It can seem unrealistic, but you set it, you do your planning, and you follow through, and you exercise your work ethic to go through the steps of what you've planned out, and you can accomplish things. Obviously, the symbolism of the Guinness World Records are incredibly powerful because it's obviously you are the best in the world at something. And
Right.
that means a
Right.
lot to people. It's a very powerful message to people trying to
Yeah.
accomplish.
I agree. And I take it just as seriously, I would hate to get out there and call myself a Guinness World Record holder unless I was doing 120%, because I don't want to, I don't want to look like that on a video that some kid might see where I'm half-assing it. And, to me, when you especially when you're younger, when you learn how to establish a work ethic, it's very important to continue to do that in life. And I don't think there's many people that work their asses off at certain things, and then all of a sudden next Friday, when they have a Guinness World Record attempt, they're just not going to try their hardest. You either do your best and try your hardest, or you don't. And for me, that's, there's been a line of that through my Guinness World Records and through everything I've done, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, once again, it's great to have such great friends, people I can call and say, hey, I'm doing this in a couple of days. Can you help me out? And, I know I can rely on you guys, and I know that, it's everybody that's within my group is very capable and very intelligent, smart enough to figure it out. So, it's nice to be able to have that within the group. That's for sure. So, is there anybody else out there?
I think we got everybody. And
Got
Alistair,
everybody?
thank you, Alistair, for your work.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
Alistair.
you so much, Ron, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'd like to, just finalize it and just say that, once again, I'm going to show this certificate for everybody to see. And
All right.
Congratulations, that's fantastic.
I like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, so I will say this too, is that
Yeah.
I don't know any martial arts person in the world that has as many world records. Separately of that, I'm still trying to process the fact that you're dealing with, cancer, right? So you're doing world records while going through crisis. It's just beyond. It's so inspiring. Like it's like
Thank you.
I will tell if there's a youngster, I'm like, so what's your excuse? Get off your ass and go do something.
Right.
Seriously,
Right.
like, don't sit there and cry about you. Look, you got to live each day like it's your last day.
Right.
And that's what Ron and I talk about. So yeah, I can cry. I can cry for you, Ron, too, because I love you. But
Yeah.
what I really love is your tenacity and your perseverance. That's the energy I'm feeling from you right now. Like that's what it's about. So,
Right.
so if there's I don't know what, with an honorary black belt, like I don't know what constitutes it, but I don't think anyone can get an honorary black belt for the things you just did. I don't think that'll ever happen in this century or even the next one. To be honest with you, it's like saying, when's the next Bruce Lee coming around, or Michael Jackson, or there's world record Ron. Like there's only one, and that's it. There'll be just something different. And nobody's going to come along and pull off what you did. Just so you know, that's my feeling.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I concur.
We love you, Ron.
Love you,
Yes,
Ron.
we
Love
do.
you guys back.
We do.
Thanks so much for taking time out of your Fridays and being a part of this. I wasn't sure at first if this time of year and Friday and all that was a good idea or not, but John and I talked about it, and we figured, you know what, my real friends will show up and say a few words. So thank you guys.
It's our honor.
Our honor.
Proud to be
Indeed,
here.
it is our honor. And thank you, Sensei John. Excellent work here today.
Yes,
Beautiful to see
thank you.
this.
You guys are
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
What an extension of his spirit in this. You guys are incredible, really. All your stories and the kind of human beings that, when people talk about the world coming undone,
Yeah.
that's a big lie. Look at this group right here. Come on.
Yeah.
People.
Awesome people. Awesome people.
I like
sure.
it cracked like.
We'll have to hear about the Taco Bell later.
Non-disclosure agreement, Ron. Remember that.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, once again, John, go ahead and wrap it up.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see each other again soon. The next world record, Ron, I want to see what's happening. Right,
We're
Ron?
looking at January.
Yep.
I'm actually going to be working on that this weekend. So
Yeah.
and then we need to talk about me maybe coming out to New York and doing that one record we just discussed. So
I was looking at that. I gotta tell you, I don't know if it'll be that one. It was like the most hugs,
the
right?
most hugs in 1 minute.
And I was watching them hug. It's not a hug. What is that? Bouncing off the chest. It was like
The tackle.
it was like I told Ron,
Wrap up, Ron. Wrap up.
Head up.
Ron
Head up.
and I agreed that when you do a world record, it can't look like you're just trying to get one. It has to look like it
Yeah.
actually is a lot of
Right.
effort. You know,
Right.
God knows I was asked to go on Regis and Kelly, and they had a guy doing a world record, most push-ups. The arm was out like this, and it just looked funny watching the guy. And they go, well, "Can you beat that?" I'm like, "I don't want to beat that. I don't even want to do that." And so Ron and I talked, and that's, I did my own thing because we believe in doing real stuff. And but my
Yeah.
hats off to you, Ron. I mean, seriously, with the stuff you've done and breaking those watermelons. I mean, NBC Studios. My kids still remember that. My children are like, "Oh yeah, I remember that," because
Yeah.
my kids are like these unstoppable characters in their own right.
Right.
Get to them.
It was amazing.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I go,
My-
I've been doing the martial arts for 44 years, right? Your
Yeah.
hand breaks after you hit like 10 of them. Your hand's gonna break. At the end, they go, "How's your hand?" "Oh, it's fine. Just give me a bucket of ice."
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, that was one of those things at the moment. That was probably the one thing that I needed the most was a bucket of ice. So
That's what I say. Like I did the whole, Japanese train. I've done all the crazy stuff, full contact, but like
Right.
you're in a whole different stratosphere. So I'm not going to even. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's something else." Yeah, you're something else. And then you're humble about it, which makes it like, "Oh, why can't this guy just be a jerk?" And then he's humble too, for crying out loud, right?
well, yeah, I mean, I've had my moments, that's for sure.
Yeah, we all do. We all do.
Yeah, but it's like I said, going back to you have your moments when sometimes it's almost required to be a bit of a jerk. But then that goes away, and it's not like, oh, I want to be a jerk to somebody. It's just the energy gets ramped up so high, and the adrenaline gets ramped up, and when somebody's asking you about where do I get a bottle of water, and you're getting jacked up, sometimes you go, "It's over there." So
it's all good. I mean,
I always have to apologize.
Is that the worst of you? You know what? I'm really upset.
That sounds horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, listen, we'll let you guys go. Thank you again so much for taking your time.
Congratulations, Ron.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations.
This was an
Very
honor
cool.
to be a part of.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. And
All right.
look forward to
Till
seeing
the
all
next
of you.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Till the next time.
Till the next time. We'll be seeing you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Love you
Nice to
guys.
meet you all.
Thank you
Love you
guys.
too.
All right, good to see you.
Congratulations.
Bye-bye,
All
Ron.
right. Thank you.